Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, my people? It's another episode on Chat with Sophia, and I'm very happy to be back after a very long break. Today, I have an incredible lady in the studio, and sempre Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me today, Sarah.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here.
Sarah.
Yeah.
What comes about the name sempre Sarah?
Sempre Sarah, I choose that
because as in Nigeria, that's not your name, obviously, right?
Yeah, my name is Sarah.
But so there's sempre.
Yeah, no, it's just one sempre. It's just one sempre.
One sempre.
And that means always Sarah. I chose that name because I like when people ask me, so what's your Instagram or what's your social media? I say sempre Sarah. So they go on to check for it. And then they realize they can't find me. And they say, but I can't find you. So
but
I have to tell
Sarah.
Yeah, because they would think I'm just repeating my name because in Italian, sempre means always. So they have to ask me 2 times, 3 times. Then when they finally get it, we get a laugh out of it. So I just like that reoccurrence. That's why I left it.
Do you know, when I go through your page, see what you're doing, like, first of all, I want to commend your effort. You're doing amazing. Thank you for inspiring us. And,
thank you.
You know, because it's not easy to be a content creator outside Nigeria, as in Nigeria. And I would like to know what drives you into content creating.
You know, funny enough, I've been creating content for a very long time, but I just like to keep it private. You know, you take some nice pictures, you want to post it, but you end up posting it in your other profile just to keep it for yourself or for your loved ones. Then I think early 2025, I just woke up one day and say, you know what? I have a passion for taking pictures, taking videos.
This year?
Yeah, in 2025, earlier this year. And I decided to just like share it with my audience. I took my page out of private. I decided to just start taking it seriously, you know, and people kept, at first I didn't know where to delve into. I was doing a bit of everything. I still do a bit of everything, but I sort of also like to listen to what my audience wants. Then I sort of drive into that direction, okay? And I started getting good feedbacks, you know, I get private messages saying, oh, Sarah, I like what you do, I loved your video, or when I make something that's relatable and people tell me, oh, that was so relatable, I'm like, okay, then I must be doing something right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's what just keeps me going. The fact that people can relate to what I do and the fact that 1 or 2 people can find my content helpful. So that's just what keeps me going.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. So I saw that, okay, you're very, very passionate about talking on your page, because I've gone to your Instagram page. You're passionate about studying in Italy.
Yes. Yes, that's true. Something I hold very dearly. I think even before I became a content creator, I always talk to people about it. People know me about it. You know, when they have a problem, they need to do their CV. They call me, oh, Sarah, can you help me? Or when they need to get some information from important offices in Italy, they say, oh, Sarah, I have this demand that I need to do. I have this practical. How do I go about it? So I've been helping people on a smaller scale. Then when I started creating content based on things happening in Italy, I decided to talk about studying here because it's something I thought was not possible. Okay. I didn't think it was possible.
Why did you think it was not possible?
I didn't think it was possible to study in Italy, especially in English. Okay, studying in Italy is...
That I can agree with you.
The oldest university in the world is the University of Bologna. So it's possible to study in Italy, obviously. But in English, especially coming from Nigeria, where we come from, you know, I didn't think it was possible. And so many people told me it was not possible. Because when I came to Italy and I decided to stay in Italy, I wanted to further my education, obviously. And they kept telling me, it's not possible. Go back to Terza Media. You know, they like Terza Media. In Italy, they like Terza Media. Go back to Terza Media. You need to go back and learn it. I said, this can be possible, you know. So for those who don't know, Terza Media is like junior secondary school 3.
JSS3.
So that's your junior WAEC, the way we call it back in Nigeria, junior WAEC. So I said, if I have done my WAEC, I have a bachelor's degree from Nigeria in a university. But when you think about it, university should cover the entire world. Why can't it not be valid in Italy? So that was a question that really haunts me for 2 years. I didn't know what to do. I was confused. Everybody I was asking far back as 2016, 2017, they kept telling me, go back to Terza Media, until I was able to figure it out. Okay.
So does that mean you had to convert your
Yes.
certificate from Nigeria here to Italian certificate?
Exactly. That was a very, very funny story.
Okay.
Because this was far back in 2017, right? So I didn't even know where to start from. I had this uncle of mine. He took me to the university. He held me in his hand. We went to the International Office for Students, right? And said, this is my niece, and I want her to study in this university. What does it take? Even the secretary, they were confused. Because some Italian university secretaries, no offense, they don't know anything. You go explain, Taya.
I believe you.
You know, right?
Yeah.
Even sometimes when you go to the post office, you explain what you want to do.
I'm telling you.
I want to pay this bill later. They will begin to look at you. What are you saying? You know? So that was what happened. The secretary didn't know. She just said, I think you should go back to Nigeria and try to come with student visa. I said, that's strange. If I'm already here, why do I need to go back to Nigeria? So this particular issue kept me stagnant for 2 years. So you can imagine you are here in Italy. You want to study. You can't study. And you don't know the right way to start. You don't know where to start. So that's what I'm very passionate about. Is imagine waiting 2 years before you can figure out your way. And now you can get the information on Instagram, on TikTok. That's a very, very big change. So that's why I'm passionate about it.
So this is like a lot of people might be in your situation that you were like years ago before starting
Exactly.
the journey. So, okay. So, but I see that in your page, when you talk about it, a lot they still keep dragging you.
Yeah, that's why I keep
Does that
talking.
kind of make you feel bad sometimes? Are you say, okay, what do I really have to gain from this? And let me just stop.
Well, I think when I decided to go public with my content is something that I expected. And I'm loved at home. So I don't really seek public validation. My goal is to put the information out there so that if there is anybody lost and they don't know where to start from, they are passionate about studying in Italy and they're already here, especially if they're already here. If they're coming from Nigeria, there are so many other factors. But if they are here, it doesn't matter the kind of document you have. You don't have to be a citizen. You don't need to have Carta di Soggiorno. You don't even need to have, you can even do with your people that have asylum documents. They can go to school. But most people, they don't know it. They just ask the wrong people and tell them, go back to Tessa Media.
That's what I've been hearing.
I think I should change my name to Sarah Against Tessa Media. Because we have so many brilliant minds. We know Nigerians are very intelligent people. We don't need to go back to junior secondary school. We don't need to go back to 9th school for 5 years before we can go to university. There are so many universities that are willing to accept us the way we are. So we should use that opportunity wisely. So that's just my goal on the internet.
So what are the advantages? Was your time of studying, during the time of studying, was there any advantages? Were there any help from any association, organization?
Basically, when I finally figured out how to go about converting my bachelor's degree to the Italian version and I was able to go to uni, I didn't know what to expect. All I knew was that I found a course that's aligned with what I'm passionate about and I'm about to go to school. Someone told me there is scholarship somewhere, okay, but I didn't really have anybody either online or in person that can walk me through the process. So I started this long journey with me and the school secretary. I would email them every other day. I'm here. What do I do next? What do I do next? What do I do next? So that's how I got to find out about the regional scholarship. So this is a scholarship that is accessible to everybody. As long as you're a legal resident in Italy, you can have access to a scholarship that allows you to study. In the first year, the only thing that can make you not get the scholarship is if your ISEE is over 35,000 or 33,000. And let's be honest, most immigrant family, they have ISEE that's below 33,000 euros.
Yeah.
So basically that's automatically including us.
Can you please explain the word ISEE? Because just for example, people that are not Italian audience, what ISEE mean? So they can understand perfectly.
I think the closest way I can explain what an ISEE is a document that shows your family income. Okay? It has to show your family income. It shows the number of people you have in your home, the properties you have in your home, and you do some sort of special calculation to show what your family is worth. Just put it in the simplest term. And because they want education to be accessible to everybody, the lower your ISEE is, the more possibility you have of getting the scholarship. So that's what an ISEE is. So for people that are watching outside of Italy and you'll be like, oh, okay, I don't have ISEE from where I'm from. Maybe I'm from Kenya, I'm from Tanzania. This is the first time I'm hearing an ISEE. So an ISEE is simply your family's income. A certificate that shows how many people you have in your household, what they earned all through the previous year. And you also have to declare if you have like landed properties or you have houses, and just state everything clearly in the document. That could also substitute for your ISEE. In Italy, fortunately, we have dedicated offices that does ISEE for each family. So it's easier for us that are already residents here.
Mm-hmm. So after studying, like in Nigeria, let me not use the word Nigeria alone, African, it's difficult. This is what discourages a lot of young Nigerians from forwarding their education right now because of job opportunities. What happened after study? Can you tell us the difference between Italy and
Nigeria? Well, I think it's a worldwide problem, if I'm being honest. Okay, even people that studied in different parts of the world, they find it very difficult to transit from student to professional. Okay, luckily or unluckily, depends on how you look at it. In Nigeria, we have that NYSC phase where young adults can use that period to figure out what they want to do in life. Some people, they get like internship or graduate programs that will give them an easy transition from university students to young professional. In Italy, there's also something similar. In fact, that's what I did. That's what I did because I like to use opportunities to the highest. So I graduated in the year 2021 in the middle of COVID. So we all know how the situation of getting jobs is in Italy.
That must be the best time. Let me not use the word.
So I don't want to go back to those dark days of COVID. But imagine how difficult it is getting a job anywhere. Then put Italy into the mix. Then put being black into the mix. Then put COVID into the mix. Then put young students with no work experience into the mix. So I knew that my chances were low. So what I did was, before I graduated, I started figuring out what my next move would be. Okay, because I feel like being a student puts you in an umbrella. Anybody asks you, what do? You can just say, I'm a student, and they will not ask you more questions. But if you say you've graduated, they'll begin to ask you, so what are you doing? What's your plan? Are you working? Will you work? So I didn't want to find myself in that dark room where I wouldn't know what I'm doing. So before I graduated, I applied for something called Mobility Program. It's a program organized for young, you don't necessarily have to be young, but like fresh graduates, let me put it that way, where you can go and get like work experience in another country for a period of 12 months or less. So during that COVID period, I started applying. Luckily enough, it was also sponsored by this same scholarship. You see? So I started applying. I didn't really get so much feedback until one woman in the UK was able to respond to me. And she said, oh, you can come to us and do your work experience. So they sponsored me. Right after I graduated, they sponsored me to go to the UK to do a period of 6 months training. So that really helped me to transition into my professional phase because I used the opportunity to get a lot of work experience, and it's also nice on my CV, right? Graduated on this date, did the 6 months training in the UK on this date. I really used the opportunity to the fullest. So when I came back, however, when I came back from the UK back to Italy, reality began to set in. So I had a period of about 4 months where I was not working. I wasn't working, so I started looking for jobs. I started going. I think I went to the north of Italy. It was only the south of Italy I didn't go to. I went to the north of Italy. I went to Milan to look for jobs. I went to Brescia to look for jobs. I went to Florence to look for jobs. I was looking for jobs everywhere. I was doing it online. I was trying to connect to people on LinkedIn. I was being visible, being active. Sometimes I was able to get some interviews that didn't lead anywhere until I was finally able to get the company where I work in, actually. And they liked me. I just did one interview with them. They were impressed with my profile and they gave me an entry-level position, And That's it. But this is an exception. It's not the rule. Okay. But what I can just say about transitioning from student to professional is to think ahead. Don't wait until you graduate before you begin to think of what you would do. And if you can, apply for one of all these graduate schemes or graduate placement so you know that you are ready or you have something in place before you graduate.
Now that makes sense. I was very convinced that you actually came here with student visa because you
No, I
were
didn't.
so passionate about talking about it. So I was going to ask you, of all destinations, why did you choose Italy? But it all makes sense.
No. I came to Italy on another visa.
Okay, I get. Yeah.
But I've met a lot of people. I've also worked with a lot of people that come straight from Nigeria to come and study here. So the process is different. Obviously, the initial process is the same where you seek for admission. The only difference between someone that's staying here and somebody that's coming from Nigeria is that they have to ask for visa. Okay, that's the difference. But it's more or less the same. They still have access to all these things I just mentioned.
And for the fact that there is a possibility to study in English, I was thinking you have to go through the language process, learn the language. So you could literally do all courses in English without any difficulties.
Not all courses, okay, because we're still in Italy, obviously. It's like in Nigeria, you don't expect them to now begin to have courses in Italian when you think of it that way. But they're trying to be more intentional about accepting international students. So what happened is, time after time, most universities also begin to open English-based English-based studies. There are more options for master students than bachelor's students, but I have to be honest, in Italy, they are really improving when it comes to this. They are opening doors for more variety of students. They're really trying their best.
So, Sarah, as we were saying, now that you're not working
Yes.
in Italy after these years of studying, can you say that your years of studying sacrifices are worth it?
Yes, I can say that 100%. I really love what I do. I love what I do. I do something that's very out of the box. What do you think I do?
I don't know. Precisely.
Guess.
I don't know if you don't mind.
I always like to make people guess because I'm actually a scientist.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm a scientist. I'm a biologist, 100%.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it's nothing like what you see online, but I have that nerd side of me where I really like to study. Yes. I really like to study. I'm a scientist, woman in STEM, 100%. So I enjoy what I do. I love my job. Is it fulfilling? 80% fulfilling because, again, we're in Italy. We're in Italy and we're always trying to be better. We're trying to do better. But so far, I think I'm satisfied with what I studied. I really love what I do.
You speak the Italian language very well.
Yes.
100%.
Exactly. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, you speak it very well.
Yes. When I say it on my page, if you don't follow me so you can see what I say on my page. I always talk about study in English in Italy, but that does not exclude you from learning Italian. As long as you live in Italy, you need to learn Italian. There is come gira. You have to come back and learn the language. So the earlier, the better. Okay. I mentioned 2 years. I was fixed 2 years. I didn't know what to do. I was learning Italian. So even though I was not studying, I was always learning Italian. I always put my Italian into practice. I always encourage people to learn Italian. So definitely, I do speak Italian. So
for the fact that you're also into the world of creativity, and you know how everyone wants to be creative at this moment right now. Everyone wants to be content creator in different areas. Yes. Do you think creativity is inborn or is something you can learn?
I think it's a mix of both. You know, you see some children from 2 years, they're already drawing nice things on their paper. They can draw a straight line. You can't say they learned it. It's inborn, I think, in some cases. But in my case, I don't think it's inborn, no.
You learned it?
I don't think my creativity is inborn.
Same here.
I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm on YouTube. I'm taking my notes. It's not, my case is not inborn. I don't think of myself as a very creative person. I just try to share information in the most natural and creative way that I can. So in my case, I'm learning. And since I started creating content seriously, I appreciate anybody that wants to create content, because my
It's
sister,
not easy.
when you put on the camera like this,
How many times you have to shoot sometimes? You have to shoot and then say, no, it didn't go well. Let's go again.
girl, I think I need to delete so many videos on my phone because I make so many blunders. You think, okay, this is just a short sentence, 1, 2, 3, go. You don't know how to talk again. You don't know how to speak English.
I'm telling you.
You try to speak it in pidgin. You can't speak it in pidgin. You use Italian. You bite your tongue, and it's just you in your room. So that's what I mean. You have to learn it, and the way you can learn it is by practicing. You keep practicing. Even me now, right now, being here with you is a practice.
I'm telling you.
It's a practice. You're practicing and practicing. So it's a mix of both.
And for the fact that you have to keep practicing, you also have to have passion for it.
Yes.
Because if you don't have passion for it, you give up easily, honestly.
Exactly. There are sometimes I take
space of 2 months, 1 month, you know.
Definitely is not for the weak. Okay. There are sometimes you spend so much time editing one content, it will not blow, it will flop. So what do? Do you give up?
No. So Sarah, I also want to ask you about being an Italian citizen.
Oh,
I saw on your page.
Yes,
You recently became an Italian citizen.
Yes.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
How long did it take you?
Luckily.
And how do you feel being an Italian citizen? For those of us that are still coming.
I think the right word is relief. Relief. You just feel this calmness, like, okay, finally, I can breathe. It's not like I was not breathing before, okay? But there is this permanency that comes with citizenship. And when you really think about it, it's not just you. It's the people that will come after you. It's like changing your entire generation. So it's not an easy feat. I can say that I'm really, truly happy and very, very grateful to everybody that made it possible, because it's not just me. Honestly, I have a whole support group behind me that really made my Italian citizenship possible. A lot of help. Lots of people helped me. That's why I always try to give information when I can. When I was stuck, when I didn't know how to go about the practical, I did it myself, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I did it myself from beginning till end.
So what do we need to hear about it? What did you do? Did you stay here for 10 years and automatically applied for it, or you just had something that qualified you?
Yes, for those that don't know, in Italy, to become a citizen, you need 10 years of residency. So there's something I've noticed. People mistake residency for carta identità, which is our identity card.
Yeah, that's just like, that's also residence, you know?
Yes.
Bro, not citizenship. Yeah.
You know why? Some people, when you do your carta identità, in Italy, is the identity card. Okay. Once you do your carta identità, they give you for 10 years. Some people, they are relaxed for 10 years. If they lose their residence in their house, they'll think because they have that card and the card is still valid, they will think that their residency is still reading. They are two different things. Let's not be mistaken. Because you have your carta identità for 10 years, it does not mean that if for some reason you change your house, you will not go and tell your commune that you have changed your residence.
Absolutely.
You will lose it. Then when it's time and you think that you are ready, you go for your citizenship process. They'll tell you have some, they call it buco. You have like a hole in your residency.
It's there, but it's not reading.
Exactly. So 10 years residency is one of the important things you need in Italy. Then you need to know the Italian language. Okay, for our people that like Tessa Media, your Tessa Media certificate is good for you to apply.
And also the B what?
B1.
B1.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you don't have Tessa Media, you can use your B1 certificate. Or if you studied in Italy, if you studied here in Italy, you can also use your degree as a language requirement. What else do you need? You also need Reddito. Reddito is yearly income. That's the simplest way to put it. In Italy, Reddito is your yearly income. You need that for 3 years straight.
Like 3 consecutive years, right?
Exactly. So if you want to apply in 2027, for example, you would need the one from 2023. 2026, 2025, and 2024. So the last 3 years. Once you have all these things I mentioned, you're good to go.
So what about those that have like this asylum, okay, 5 years document? Because I also heard they don't need to wait for.
I heard that too. I heard that too.
Do you have any knowledge about that?
Yes, a little bit. If I'm being honest, a little bit. I think they just need 5 years of residency, but they also need it ready to.
Yeah, I think that's right.
They also need it ready to. And they also need the language. But if you know better than us, you can also leave it in the comment section. Tell us more because we don't know everything, obviously.
Exactly. So let's talk about also our Nigerian embassy in Italy also, right?
Okay.
I also saw in one of your video before. No, the comment section of that particular video
was interesting.
They weren't having it good with you at all.
No, they wanted to. They wanted to eat me raw.
I think you were praising them too much. So why? What did they do? Did they give you champagne? Did they give you champagne there? Because you came back, you were just praising them. Honestly, is it the same embassy we all go to?
Have you been to the Nigerian embassy?
I've been there.
Okay.
It looked like they gave you champagne, right?
Let me tell you how that day happened. Let's take it 5 years back. 2020, in the middle of COVID. I think that was the first time I renewed my passport in the Nigerian embassy in Rome. It was not a pleasant experience, okay? Because one thing with the embassy, you know the time you enter, you don't know the time you will come back. You don't even know if you finish the reason you went there. You don't know if you'll be able to capture. So it was a very long experience that day. It was very long, very chaotic, very hot. It was in summer that I went. It was very, very chaotic. But this recent time that I went, it was in November. It was good. It was good. And I think the reason it was good, was because I applied online. Okay, I applied online. I didn't have any middleman to help me. I didn't contact anybody. I think another reason was because I'm not in a hurry to go to Nigeria. You know, sometimes this desperation allows us to do certain things. You had your passport for 5 years. You want to travel to Nigeria tomorrow. You want it today. You want it right now. So when you are in a state of desperation, you can do anything to get your passport on time. So if you're not desperate, I always advise people to apply online. Okay, apply online. There is the Nigerian Immigration Service website. It's very, very easy to navigate. Apply. You choose your capturing center. They will show you the dates that are available. I choose my date. Okay, I chose that date because I wanted to go to Rome that period. If not, there were even earlier dates. I picked a date. I paid online. Okay. That's very easy.
Does applying online also lessen the price?
You know,
because one of the reasons why we are all angry at the Nigerian embassy is about the price, you know. Okay. Very, very high.
I'll let the audience respond to this, but I paid 230 euros.
And how long? I think
it was $230.
How long did it take you to get it?
8 days.
8 days.
After the entire process, I printed out my slip, and on the date of my appointment, I went there. I saw the portinaio, the security at the Nigerian embassy. It was very smooth. I went in. It was already full. Now, I asked myself, if my appointment is for 11 and I go to the embassy 11:15 because I want to be punctual, why is it already full when the embassy just opened 1 hour before now? So I also think people don't wait for their time, or they don't know their time. They just try to go very, very early, stay on the queue. But if you applied online, you know that your appointment is by 11, you can organize differently. I know, just like they commented in my video, most people don't trust the Nigerian embassy to respect the time, okay? But honestly, give it a go. After that video, so many people, they bashed me. They said it's not true. But that day, when I got there for my appointment, it was very chill. I'm going to be honest. It was very, very calm. I didn't have any issue. I just sat down, and when they started calling people, I was the fourth person, which makes sense, honestly, because with the time they gave me, it really worked. I was the fourth person. I got there. The staff, they were a bit stern. They were a bit strict.
Did they ask you to drop your phone also?
Yes, I dropped my phone at the entrance.
Why do you think they are doing that? Why they drop your phone? What are we supposed to be hiding at the embassy office?
I don't
will have to
know.
drop
I don't know. Maybe it's for their own privacy or the privacy of the people there. But honestly, I don't know why they asked us to drop our phone. Or maybe it's because they don't want noise.
I doubt my country.
Maybe they don't want people to be on the phone and be calling. And what can I say? I did my appointment, was very, very fast. In my video, I said everything took 1 hour, 40 minutes. It actually took 1 hour, 10 minutes. It was even lesser time. And when I was done and I came out, some people that have been waiting there for a long time, when I came out, they were like, see this girl, she just come. You just enter. You just enter. They didn't look face for this place. So I had to tell them, you know what I told them when I was leaving? I said, guys, I applied online. Apply online. I'm sure those agents, they will not like my video. I'm sure so many people, they were angry with my video, but I'm just spreading the gospel. If you want to renew your Nigerian passport, it does not matter where you live, Italy, UK, Sweden, Switzerland,
So applying
Berlin,
online,
I
make
believe,
it cheaper and just like the right process.
I think yes. If you're not in a hurry, obviously. I was not in a hurry. Okay, my passport expired in November. I renewed it in November. I got it back in November, luckily for me. If you go on the website right now, I'm going to search for dates. Maybe the next available date would be in 2 months. So that's what I mean by if you're not in a hurry.
Not bad either.
Exactly. Because, like I told you before, people, they will wait until it's time to travel tomorrow. They want their passport now. If you know that your passport has 6 months left to expire, start working on renewing it as soon as possible.
Thank you very much for this information, Sarah.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you something also. Very completely different from the Italian. We're all in relationship, right? So
yes.
What can you say about the key to a healthy relationship, Sarah?
I think the key to a healthy relationship should be trust. Trust. You need to be able to trust your partner and be considerate.
Sorry, because I saw on your page that you recently got engaged.
I did get engaged. I got engaged recently. So yes. For me, I think the key to an healthy relationship would be trust and consideration. Okay, if you, just the way God said, love your neighbor as yourself. If you love someone as much as you love yourself, you'll be considerate. You will not do something that they will not like. You will not do something that would hurt them. You'll be very considerate of what you do, even in their absence. So for me, I think that's one of the major keys to a healthy relationship, and just communication, so that there is no assumption. Because women, we like to assume a lot. I thought, I assume, I think, I thought. So let's stop thinking, less assumption and more talking. So
and
you
then
can.
The biggest red flag?
Biggest red flag is if they get very easily irritated. I saw some things on social media. They'll be like, if your husband don't love you anymore, you begin to look very ugly to him. Do you get, like, if you are with somebody that you are talking to them, they pay no interest to what you're saying. Okay, they can't wait for you to stop talking. You want to ask yourself, does this person really care about anything I'm saying? Does what I do interest them? They have no interest on knowing you more, even though you're already in a relationship with this person, right? They're easily distracted. You're talking to them not once, not twice, not thrice. They're always on their phone. Or there's also a trend I saw on social media, right? They said if you're with your partner and you say something like, oh, look at that bird, and it doesn't respond to you, it could be that he never ever pays attention to what you say. But if he goes, oh, where's the bird? What bird? It means that he's actually interested in what you have to say, because this story is not about the bird. It's about your ability to get attention from your partner, no matter how silly or how useless what you are talking about is. So yeah, I think those are the two things that have always worked for me.
Thank you very much. So what's the most beautiful thing you can measure in Italy?
Oh.
What's the most beautiful in Italy?
I think I really love...
It's a place people really love to come to, you know?
Yes. You realize that some people's dream in their life is to come to this Italy.
I'm telling you. And then we are here.
We take it for granted.
I'm telling you.
We take it for granted. There are some people, especially people that are very far away, like in America or in Asia. Once they learn that you live in Italy, they'll be like, oh my God, you live in Italy. Oh, that's
You're
so
eating
beautiful.
good food.
That's my dream. And we are here. We're always complaining. One thing I really love about Italy is the difference in its different region. Like everything you want, you can find in Italy. I'm not talking about social life. That's another discussion for another day. I'm talking about if you want to go to the mountains, they have it. Up north, Dolomite, they have it. If you want to go to the sea, they have good weather. The sun is there. During summer, you can go catch fun, go to the beach, clear your mind, take a swim. If you want to eat good food, they have it. They have so many things. The only thing they don't have is job and money. But let's not go there. Let's not go there. That's not why we're here.
So if you would choose the best city in Italy, what would you say? You say Rome, Milan, Firenze, Venice. For tourists, they love to go to Venice a lot.
That's true. I think Venice is because it's very unique. You reach there, everything is on there on the boat. There are water buses. Instead of you to take a normal bus, water buses. It's very unique. It's a very charming city. In Italy, one of my favorite cities is Rome. Okay. And the reason it's Rome is because I also have some of my very good friends in Rome. So whenever I go to Rome, I feel like home. Wordplay. I always feel like home whenever I'm in Rome. I really love it there. But I find it too chaotic. Too busy. I'm always missing my way.
That's the capital city. No, but I don't think it's as busy as Milan.
You think?
I don't.
I think they're on the same scale for me.
I personally, I don't like a very busy city.
Me too.
You know? So for those that don't have problem with those noisy and busy, I think they will love it.
People that are, I think it's for people that back in Nigeria, they used to live in Lagos. You know, Lagos,
exactly.
They are always on the move.
Exactly.
Dropping buses, dropping this.
Go Lagos is worse.
Go there, you wake up in the morning, you don't know when you get home. Traffic. Rome is for you. If you want to come to Italy, you would like Rome because it's very buzzy. Everybody's always on the move. So I like Rome. I also like Florence a lot. I think Florence is a mixture of very, very, very busy and also a little bit chill. It's just a sweet spot. It's not too quiet, not too busy. I also like Florence. Those are my two best cities in there.
Let's talk about the food also. You know, I was having an argument with someone before talking about pizza Napolitano and Romano.
Yeah.
What's your best pizza?
Napolitano, die. Napolitano. For me, Roman pizza is like crackers. Don't come for me. It's like crackers. It's very thin like this. It's like a snack. But if you eat like Naples pizza, you feel full, you feel fulfilled. When you're done, you know that you ate something. Yeah, I like the food. I also like, funny enough, most people, when they think about Italy, it's pizza and pasta. If they try,
but there's more.
They try. Some can mention lasagna, but there's so much more Italian food that it's not that popular to the international communities, but we in Italy,
just like we have rice and fufu in Nigeria, but there
Exactly.
are other dishes also that we can also have.
There's so many dishes in Nigeria that even people that live in the north, they don't know about what people in the south eat. Same thing. People that grew up in the south, they don't know what people that grew up in the north eat as well. So there are so many other food that people eat in Italy that's quite interesting and very, very nice. That if you ask me to mention one now, I don't know what to tell you. But okay, let's say papa di pomodoro. It's nothing too fancy. It's like a starter meal.
Pomodoro?
No, palpa di pomodoro. I had it the other day. I'm like,
Popeta?
No, palpa di pomodoro. It's like a tomato sauce, like a starter meal. Yeah, I was like, which one be this one?
And there's
now?
formaggio inside.
There was a bit of formaggio. There was a bit of tomato. It's not too thick, it's not too light, but you eat it with bread. It's not a main course.
Yeah, I think
it's a
maybe
starter.
I had it, but didn't know the name.
Really? Me too. I didn't even know about it. Every day I find out new things when I go to the restaurants. Sometimes I'm like, okay, let me pick something new, and I try it and I like it.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. So we can confirm that you're both Italian, half Italian, and half Nigerian. Either in the me or in every area.
No, I'm 100% Nigerian. 100% Niger, babe. Okay. But let's say I've truly integrated into the Italian culture day to day. I always ask context because now the language, I've more or less mastered the language. What I don't know now is context. Maybe they're talking about something that happened 12 years ago that I don't know. What I try to do now is just to always find out about things that have happened in the past and how they can relate with the future. So that's another way I'm just trying to integrate into the Italian society, because at the end of the day, we don't dare. You might as well make the best out of it, you know?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's all.
You're right, Sarah. So I was going to ask you also about other European countries, you know. Have you visited, apart from Italy?
Yes.
Have you visited other European countries before, like France?
Yeah. Fortunately, yes. Funny enough, I've never been to France.
Okay.
Strange, right?
No, it's not strange.
I think it's strange because Italy, look at Italy, look at France.
Yeah, but like, you don't have anything to do there, so.
There's Paris. Paris is the city of love, I think. But funny enough, I've never really been there. Maybe because I've never even been to Spain.
So where have you been?
I've not been to Spain. I've not been to. I also think it's because when I travel, I like to go to places that are a little bit more distinct than Italy, somewhere a bit more different. That's why I always put aside going to Spain.
That's why I was going to ask you what you can say about that European countries.
Yeah,
that's different from Italy.
One country that I went to that was quite different from Italy is Sweden. Now, I went to Sweden maybe 10 years ago, and I remember clearly when I got to Stockholm, I said, now the real abroad be this. Do you know why?
It's quite beautiful.
It was quite beautiful. You know, it was quite not just beautiful. They had this nice tall building, and it was very clean. Not that flashy, but coming from the part of Italy that I live in, where everywhere is just countryside, it's just chill. It was a big surprise going to Stockholm. Mind you, this was 10 years ago. My experience in Italy has not been so saturated. I really loved Stockholm. I went in October 10 years ago, and I really liked it there. One thing I noticed was it was very cold. October, it was like February in February. It was very, very cold, and it was always dark. In Italy too, when it's winter, by 4 or 5 it's dark. But there are some places in Europe from 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock it's already getting dark.
Even 12 o'clock in the afternoon?
I'm telling you. Really? Especially some places in like Norway.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I really liked Sweden. It was also a very lovely experience being to Hungary. And
is it an English-speaking country?
Are there English-speaking countries in Europe? Let's start there.
Okay, no, you're right. But I just feel like some countries
they speak more English.
Better. I think Italy is one of the countries that speak very less English. Yeah.
Italy is very traditional. They are not English-speaking people. In Sweden, though it was a short trip, even then I remember lots of people, they were speaking English. They were very, very international out there. Budapest, they were not speaking English like that in Hungary. Another place I've been to is Malta. In Malta, however, they speak English, they speak Italian. They
speak Italian also in Malta?
I'm telling you.
I'm not aware.
You know, Malta is actually close to Sicily. I didn't even know until I was there. And I think Malta was a very, very interesting country because you get there and they drive like the English people. So everything is just different when you land. They drive like the English people. The houses look like Arab houses. When they speak, it's like they're speaking Italian mixed with Arab, mixed with something else. It's like a pot of different culture in Malta.
Do we have like a lot of Nigerians there also?
Most Nigerians go study in Malta as well. They go. It's beginning to gain a bit of traction right now.
Because I heard I think it's a very small country.
Very, very small country. Like in a day, you can go from one city to the main city. They only have one airport. It's an island.
They have just one airport.
I stand corrected, but I think Malta has just one airport. So it's a small island. You can go everywhere. Thank you.
What do you think is, if you can say in three ways?
Yes.
Is the key to a healthy life generally? Generally, not relationship. Key to a healthy life.
My own mantra per se is not to take anything too seriously. Because what can be so serious to me right now can be less serious in a month time, a year time. Because time is something that heals, you know. So I don't like to take things so seriously. If someone offends me, for example, I don't like to keep the grudge for a long time unless they really truly hurt me. So I think that also helped me like lead somewhat healthy life, because just take life jeje. That jeje, because
So you're not the type of person that want to drive very high on success.
I do,
Because some of us are very desperate for success, you know.
Okay, so the first thing I said was I'd like to take things easy. Okay, that's one of my key to a successful life or healthy life per se. I'm also I'm an ambitious person. Okay, but I'm also a realist. For example, even if you are a very ambitious person, you need to also know your reality and accept your reality. Because some people, they can be, okay, I'm aiming to buy a yacht or like a Range Rover. And you ask them, how are you going to do it? They don't know how to tell you. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to explain what they're going to do. They're just telling you, one day, I think I'm going to buy a private jet. If you don't connect your quest for success and your reality, it's always going to be a thing of I want to, I wish, I shall in the next future, next tomorrow. So you always have to, okay, know what you're aiming for and take little steps to get there.
Do you miss like our Nigeria enjoyment, like the way you used to enjoy in Nigeria before? The clubbing,
Yes.
like
The life, the community life, that's warmness, you know.
Dirty December, a lot of things, you know.
I
think everything is almost like completely different.
It's so different. Like so different. Like back when I was in Nigeria, to be fair, I've never been a very like a party animal, right? I've also not like I was a nerd that read your book 247. I was in the middle. Okay. So I do miss that hair of December. It's different in Nigeria. You come out and you smell the Christmas. You see somebody carrying life chicken past you. You see in a compound, they will just
like nice human hair.
I'm telling you, nice human hair. They will just see them in the middle of the compound. Someone is just hosting a get together. You can just visit somebody with your friend. Here, before you visit somebody, you have to book a day. Book a time, an appointment. If they are not working, they are not doing their shift. I miss that day in Nigeria whereby someone can just invite you to a party and you just tell them, oh, I'm coming with a friend, and it's not a problem. Here they will tell you, abbiamo prenotato per 5. Se tu prendi 7 e poi non c'è disponibilità, e poi questo. In Nigeria, everybody's welcome. So I do miss that part. You know, I miss that spontaneous and everything. I really miss it.
Your families are there?
My family, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. My nuclear family here.
Ah, okay.
Yes, I miss that.
So, Sarah, can you tell us about the types of Nigerians we have here? We definitely have different categories of Nigeria, different types of Nigerians.
This question is a very tricky question because...
Not that tricky.
It's a little
but you know exactly what I'm saying, right?
I know what you mean. I think I know what you mean. Personally, from my own experience, so I think we have different types of Nigerians in Italy. They are the ones that were born here and they grew up here. So those ones, I think they have Nigerian roots, Nigerian parents, but they are more Italians in the sense that they speak the language better. If I stand close to someone that was born here and we speak Italian, they will know that this one is Italian, this one is Folocom.
It can never be the same.
It can never be the same.
It's different.
I also think it's not just language-wise, the way we behave is different. The way we see life is different. They are very much Italians than maybe me and you that came here when we were a bit more like late teens, early adults. We have our Nigerian baggage, our Nigerian mentality, that can never leave us because we grew up in Nigeria. We know what it means to be Nigerians. And also see this on social media spaces as well. There are lots of Black content creators, and they are the Black content creators that are Italians. And when they speak to their Italian audience, there's someone like me, I speak English in my content because I want my message to reach Nigerians that came here as adults. Okay, I think they can benefit more about what I have to say because it's more relatable, basically. But there is a little but.
So what could it be?
The but is when I think about where I want my platform to reach or how far I want my platform to grow.
It doesn't get there.
I don't know if it will ever get to where the Nigerian, Italian people go, because at the end of the day, I'm in Italy. Okay. I have the Italian citizenship. I feel Italian, but not many people will consider me to be an Italian person. I won't even take offense to that because let's be honest, I came here as an adult already. But when I think about the future in my content creating hobby, passion, I'm like, okay, where would this really get me? Okay, just being here with you, it gives me like a good satisfaction that, oh, someone is seeing what I'm doing. But I come back and I ask myself some question like, okay, how many people is going to think what I'm doing is actually worth like investing into? So that's a question sometimes I think about it and I'm like, let's not just, it's not something I want to dwell in, because if I dwell in on it, I might lose the zeal to keep creating content, you know?
Interest on it
because I'm like, okay, people are getting information, yes, but will I ever go to a show where there is Rihanna, to say the least, and they are looking for Black influencers? Will somebody consider me Italian enough to represent the Black space in bigger platforms? Do you know what I mean?
I get your point.
So yeah,
and I also think that maybe it's a problem mostly in Italy.
yes,
Because I feel like a lot of Nigerians that are doing what you do in America,
even the UK.
I wanted to say UK specifically. In UK, they gain more audience and attention. I don't know if the Nigerians that comes here they don't think
it's possible.
I think they should have a different mindset.
Yes, I think it's a mindset thing, but there's also so far that your mindset can get you. At the end of the day, it's all about who the brands that are going to come knocking. Okay, are we there yet in Italy? Like the Black content creators, are we there yet to get that global recognition?
Exactly, because in UK, those content creators
they're doing well.
Venturing into social media are being recognized even from by our people in Nigeria.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So I don't know if that can ever happen in Italy or Germany or...
Even Germany, there's still some hope.
It's not an
English-speaking country.
You know? And Italians, they don't joke with their language. They don't even want to...
Okay. You know, sometimes when I make content, some people ask me, why don't you speak in Italian? You know, why don't you speak Italian? I'm like, I can speak Italian, but do the Italian people want to see me? Do they want to hear what I'm saying? Do you get? Because one thing with the algorithm is once you make your video, they'll first push it to the people in your environment. Who are the people in my environment? Italians. When they see me, they swipe. I know for sure. When they see me, they swipe because what I'm saying to them, they cannot relate to it.
They can't relate, yeah.
Okay? You have to be very consistent and keep using buzzword that will drag your people to you. So it's a very difficult space to navigate per se because you are in Italy, you are Black, you're Nigerian. You want to take content seriously, but who's going to listen to you? The people that are listening to you, are they able to actually influence you positively? Are they able to take you there to the next step, or are we just playing? And I also think it's because we are not so much. Okay, when I started doing content, I'm talking about people like me that came to Italy at a certain age and were half enough, not even half enough, 70% Nigerian because we are still Nigerians, and then integrated into the society 30%, right? We are not so much on the internet space. So I think the more content creators begin to come forth and put out their content, I think the more we can be able to get recognized and maybe create like a safe space for us to collaborate and also to get more opportunities. But it's interesting. I'm hoping to see where this will go. It's relatively new for everybody, even for me. It's just, if I'm being honest, it's been a year since I started taking social media content very seriously.
I think you mentioned having your accounts on private.
Exactly. Before. I was private until recently. It's just a year to be exact. So I can't also pretend to be very successful in a year, but I'm also satisfied with how far I've come. But there is still that little doubt, that little question is, okay, is the Italian being in Italy factor going to limit me in that aspect? But I guess we have to keep going to
and see
find
how
out.
it goes, right? Okay.
Exactly.
So would you like? I think you should talk about your other social medias
Platform.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Where do you put your
my content?
apart from Instagram? Where do you put your content exactly?
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok. You can also find me on YouTube. The username is the same. Sempre Sarah.
Sempre Sarah. Okay.
Sempre Sarah. On TikTok, however, I'm Sempre Sarah 1. There's one at the end, but I think if you put Sempre Sarah, Sempre_Sarah, you'll be able to find me. I try to be consistent on all my social platforms, and I'm also trying to create more long form videos because I see a lot of people, they want to know more. They're asking me so much, but I can't put videos that are past 90 seconds
on
Instagram or even on TikTok. People don't have long attention span. So I'm trying to involve more in long form content like in YouTube so that I can really be exhaustive when I'm making my explanations and giving all my details out. So you can find me at Sempre_Sarah. I'm here for you. Sarah is here for you.
And we all know that YouTube videos, they have a lot, like more quality.
Yes.
So don't hesitate. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me.
I don't know if there's anything you would like to tell the audience about you, because I don't know everything about you.
That's true. What I would like to share with my audience, what I'd like to leave with you today is there are Nigerians in Italy, and there are Nigerians that are doing exceptionally well in Italy, but most of them like to hide for different reasons, because when we come out, like I do, to talk about our experiences, we get shunned, or we get called liars, or we get called names and things like that. So it's not very encouraging. I would like for everybody to know that there are lots of Nigerians that are doing well in Italy, regardless of the situation, how difficult it is to find jobs, how difficult it is to integrate, the language factor. But aside all, we Nigerians, we are very known to be resilient people. We are pushing through and we are doing our best. So when you come across someone in Nigeria that lives in Italy, shake them. They are doing well. They are doing very, very well. And if you consider coming to Italy, I will definitely recommend you come for study. Then after your job, you get your degree. You can leave if you want. If you don't like it, you can explore. You can go to Germany. You can go to Sweden. You can go to US, UK. The world is your oyster.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
I'm so happy to be here.
And I'm so happy to do this with you.
Thank you so much.
No, honestly, I don't take it for granted. And for the fact that we keep putting our effort, our time on things that we don't have 100% assurance about the outcome. That's a lot of courage.
Yes.
And I think you're inspiring a lot of people on your page.
I hope so.
I don't want you to stop, honestly. No, honestly. But because
I'll try not to.
Yeah, you shouldn't stop, because we have a lot to gain from you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me today on this very episode.
Thank you.
We spoke about living good in Italy, and it was amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Sarah, and we just had a good episode. See you guys next time. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.